Well, this is a skill pathway, and this skill pathway is about how to play and prepare for a tournament. So what I'm going to go through for the next month and a half, for about a month, I have a tournament coming up that I really like to play well in. I think I can be competitive, but I've got a lifestyle. I'm a new grandfather. I've got the website. I've got my lessons. I've got a lot of things going on. I can't stand out here and hit balls and play every day. And that's really a misconception about what you need to do to be able to prepare yourself to have your best chance to play. So this is going to be about each week, what am I focused on? What am I doing? How do I get ready to play so I give myself the best chance? And then what do we learn from it? And that's what's important, is you're constantly learning from what happens with golf. I mean, it's a life experience on a daily basis. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. I think you'll see a lot of things that'll be pretty interesting. But the skill pathway is all about how to prepare to play for an event with a normal lifestyle, and you're not a tour player. All right, now here's what's interesting. I had a good friend of mine, Phil Blackmore, who worked with me when I turned 50 right before I went to the senior tour school. And that year I really should have made it. I mean, won the first stage, or won the second stage, was in fourth place after 5 rounds going to the last round. I shot, I think 72 or 3. I missed by 1, and they only took 7. I think I finished 8th or 9th. But my point with that is I'd gone to a lot of tour schools, and I'd been close a few times, but never really in. This was the first time where every single part of it I was in. I mean, my game was good enough. I proved to myself I could play. Even though I didn't make it through it, it's such a small number of guys and I played so well. But one of the critical things that we did was my practice. Here's what he told me. He says, look, I'll work with you for the next 8 months to a year, getting ready for it. But he said, here's what we're going to do. At least 60 to 75% of your practice time has to be spent from 100 yards and in. Now, that's what I'm going to do now. I mean, I've got a month. Whatever amount of time, if I come out here and I've got an hour to practice, I'm going to spend 45 minutes from 100 yards and in. Because this is where you play the game. This is where you save yourself from making bogeys. This is where you make birdies. So this is a lot of your full swing also. So inside of 75 to 100 yards, I'm going to spend 75% of my time. Of that 75%, I'm probably going to spend around 50% of it putting. Because, again, it's a putting contest. I have won a lot of tournaments. I've played well. I've never won putting poorly. I have won putting really well and not hitting it very good, because I could manage my game well enough and I could make the putts I had to make, so I still had a chance to win. So when you don't have a lot of time to get ready, you want to spend 75% of whatever time you have from 100 yards in. And probably 60 to 70% of that 75% is on putting and chipping. Okay, because if you do that, you're gonna play well, and if you hit it well, you're gonna take advantage of it. So where do I start? Well, I start on the putting green every day, and I start by just getting my tempo. What's that? I just set balls up and I just go back and forth, and I just find the tempo that I'm comfortable with to hit the ball. Once I find that tempo, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, once I find that, whether I'm hitting a 2-foot putt, 1, 2, a 30-footer, 1, 2, a 70-footer, 1, 2, a chip shot, 1, 2, or my driver, 1, 2. The tempo stays the same. So I'm going to practice maintaining my tempo. Now, all of you, here's what happens. When you don't have a lot of time to practice, you get jumpy and you get off and your tempo changes. Tempo is what holds your swing together. Okay, so tempo is the pace at which things happen. Rhythm is the sequence. Timing is what holds all those things together. So if your tempo changes, your rhythm changes, which means your timing. So when I see players, they come out and their chip shots are one way, and then their 5 irons one speed, and their driver's another speed, and then one driver's one speed, and another driver's. You can't do that, especially if you're not playing a lot. So a big focus on my practice is going to be defining and maintaining my tempo. If I define and maintain it, I'm going to have a chance to play well. If my tempo gets off, I'm going to start hitting a lot of shots, missing putts, doing all kinds of things. So the first thing I do, develop my tempo so I know what pace I'm going to swing at with all my clubs. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for regular updates and tips. Thanks for watching.